Hello world, it's the Crypto Scatman here. Welcome to my channel, thanks for watching, and please remember to hit that like button. Okay, that's enough of that. So, why have I decided to make this channel? Well, I've decided to make it because I wanted to protect you guys from all the scammers out there. I'm looking to dig deep into any project that looks a bit shady. We're all time sensitive, so I'm looking to help you out by carrying out in-depth due diligence and share with you what I find. The first project I'd like to share with you today is Invacio. Why Invacio? Well, firstly, let's have a look at CoinMarketCap. You can see here we are currently trading at a little under 2 cents. We have a total market cap of $926 million. Now, this is very interesting because the price at ICO was $1. $1. And now we are trading at under 2 cents. I believe the ICO completed a little over 6-7 weeks ago. So by my calculations, that's a little over 98% loss. Wow. I know we're in a bear market at the moment, and I know a lot of ICOs are struggling, but 98% loss? Really? The second reason this project piqued my interest was this video here I'm about to show you now. It's Keith Waring, and he's interviewing a member of the Invacio team, a gentleman called Roger Baker. It makes for pretty explosive viewing. There's some bad language, but I'd like to play this tune now.
Due to the ongoing token sale, my wife postponed the removal of 4 tumours. How the fuck is removing 4 tumours got anything to do with a bungled token sale and
fair point.
Frauding loads of people out of an IC?
Wow, nice tinfoil hat.
Not giving a fucking
what
straight
is he
answer.
thinking?
Not giving me a straight answer.
This is supposed to be a professional company.
Tinfoil hat on. And where people have lost a fortune. Do you know, like my company works. You shut up, you cunt. My company worked with you, right?
It's very disrespectful to the token holders.
I hired YouTubers.
That tinfoil hat. Oh my goodness.
I spent an absolute fortune. I am at a loss. I am personally at a loss of $12,000 because a stake of shitcoin and fraud was thrust upon me, and I've got some scruffy cunt in a tinfoil hat trying to defend the loss. 95% loss of the value of your token. I've got fucking government agencies asking me about fraud. I've got people phoning me up in the middle of the night saying these guys are really bad and explaining all of the fucking shit that you've done. And you're telling me that this is logical, that this is just fluff. This is bollocks, mate. You are in the forefront. You, sir, are in the forefront of you're the one that's going to get nicked. He's out of jurisdiction. He's in a different country. His company's in the BVI. You're in the UK, mate. You are going to get absolutely cucumbered by all this.
Cucumbered.
How much were you paid to lie on William's behalf? He's fucking insane. Come on. Come on.
There
Tell
are
the
no
truth.
lies.
Tell the fucking truth.
You've heard it here. There are no lies.
Throw your toys out the pram as much as
There are no lies. Okay, I think we've heard enough of that. Understandably, Keith is pretty upset, as I'm sure all those who got involved with this ICO are. Let's have a little look at their website. So, Invacio. Welcome to the world of Invacio. Invacio is an outstanding achievement in the worlds of artificial intelligence, communications, finance, and big data. Already celebrated internationally. Wow. Our work stands to revolutionize every industry it touches. We can then see they're speaking a little about their Invacio's groundbreaking multi-agent AI system, Gene, which I believe William West, the founder, named after his grandmother. It's been 5 years in the making. Let's have a look at the white paper. Oops. doesn't look like it's found. I've actually had a look all over the web, but it's not available anywhere, unfortunately. I have no idea why Invacio would have felt the need to pull this from public view. Yeah, very strange. What else? So we've got a suite of products here, Tamias, network data. We'll have a look at those a little bit later. I'd like to show you now a video of William being interviewed recently. I think it's back in March or February during the promotional campaign for the ICO. Take a listen.
So one of the best part about Invacio I find is that you already have an existing project.
Okay, I'm not sure how good the audio here is, but he says, so one of the best parts I like about Invacio is the fact that you already have existing products.
Yeah, we're not somebody who is promising things which will be built in future.
You're not some company who's going to be promising things that will be built in the future.
But you already have demonstrated.
I think this is important to understand. A lot of these ICOs that you or anyone is investing in are essentially a vision of the founder. Now, I've been very lucky that I am predominantly, I have access to wealth, and I've put my wealth at risk over the last 5 years to build my vision. But a lot of ICOs are founded by people that don't have that capability. Now, we should all support people that have that vision, but we also need to make sure that they have the capabilities, because there's times that I've personally hit walls, predominantly when we was doing NASA injections into G. That was a 3-month cluster of problems, but we got there in the end. But other people will give up, so you need to make sure that the founder is 100% committed to the project, and that the people they're working with are committed to the team, because a lot of teams all over the world communicating will have arguments and so on and so forth, and everything will be a bit more personal, even though they're so far away, because the tone is lost. So my official advice here would be seriously look at the founder, his background, and look at the people behind him, the team, and see whether they have the capabilities to pull off the projects you want to purchase from.
So one of the things that I would look for is if the founder has built something already.
Yes. Obviously, we've got 11 products that we're rolling out, are built. We've also got things that we can't tell you about or anyone about. WeNet is one of them I can tell you about, but there's an...
Okay, that's enough of that. So let's just summarize what we've seen here. Firstly, we have been made fully aware that Invacio have a suite of products that are already built, and it's just a question of actually rolling them out. And secondly, we have been given some advice by William. He suggests that anyone looking to invest in an ICO should firstly look into the founder, and then secondly into the team, and make sure that they have the capabilities, as William puts it, of carrying out the project. So with that in mind, I thought we could have a look at the white paper and take a look at the team. So I've got the white paper here. This is not the latest version of the white paper. This was actually the first version of the white paper released back in January. But considering that Invacio have removed the latest version, we're going to have to go off this one. So let's look at William West himself. I know that William left school. I don't know what sort of grades or qualifications he got, but that's as far as his educational background goes. He then went on to work for BT. It is claimed here that he worked as a senior executive positions at both IBM and BT. Now, I know this for a fact is false. It's a lie. How do I know this? Because I spoke to the best man at his wedding. And he told me that William was not a senior executive at BT or IBM. He worked in a call center and was a telesales operative. So, taking William by his own advice, let's look at the founder. Well, the founder in this case is telling porky pies. Not great, William. Not great. Let's have a look at the team. John Marshall. Well, to be honest with you, I don't know if there's any point looking through the team because most of the people have left. This guy, John Marshall, he left in March, as did Daniel Brace. James Smith, I know very little about, other than that he has his own system security business in Canada. Quite what he has to do with Invacio, I haven't really been able to ascertain. Oded, he left long before this white paper was published, so quite why he's on here again doesn't look great. Michael Amok, I believe he's still with Invacio in some capacity. I know that he has other business interests as well, and so works in a part-time capacity. Andreas Bedreza, again, he left before this white paper was published. Why he should be in here again can only be seen as false advertising. I'm sorry, but it's not great. People are investing. People are, on your own advice, William, people are looking at the team and these guys don't even work for you. Richard Cohen, I actually spoke with Richard Cohen. He was recruited as an advisor, but as of yet hasn't given any advice, hasn't been called on to give any advice. His words. He is now cut ties with Invacio after doing nothing. Nathan Smith, I have no idea who this guy is. I don't believe he has anything to do with Invacio. I haven't been able to find anything about him. Benjamin Rengsonboom, this gentleman again, he left in March. Madhav Vadgama, I believe, may still be with Invacio. I'm not actually sure. I know that they are naming their supposed blockchain after him, although, and he's apparently the lead developer with this blockchain. Quite how this is possible when you look at his CV, I'm not so sure. He doesn't appear to have any relevant experience that could possibly suggest he would have the capabilities of building a blockchain. Anyway, I'm sure you can find more information about him on LinkedIn. Arvind Patel, he has his own company, Enlight Web Solutions. I believe he's helped William build a website, and I believe he now lives in Canada. Whether he has anything to do with Invacio, I'm not so sure, but I haven't been able to get in contact with him. His wife is on there, Patricia de la Motta, she's left. I think this is Jenny from the blockchain. The rest of these, I haven't been able to ascertain who these people are. Quite what they do with Invacio, I'm not so sure. But from what I can find out, the team is down to the bare bones now, and it's William, the guy with the tinfoil hat, Roger Baker, and Michael Umak. I'm not quite sure how you pronounce that name exactly. There was another gentleman who was used heavily in their marketing campaign and was listed in the latest version of the white paper. That gentleman is Scott Suter. Now, Scott Suter works for IBM. He's an AI guy, and I believe many people invested on the back of his name. However, and I should state also that Invacio have stated that he's been intrinsic to the development. However, when I spoke to Scott, this was news to him. Scott hasn't even seen the technology, his words, and the only thing he liked was the vision, and he's given them some basic advice on AI, and that's the extent of his role. He certainly wasn't intrinsic to the development, and surprise, surprise, Scott has now cut all ties with Invacio as well. So, not great. Taking William by his own advice, let's look at the founder, let's look at the team. Well, there is no team, and the founders lied. Sorry, but red flags, red flags, red flags. Let's have a look at the offices. I'll see if I can find that for you now. Invacio lists a number of offices on their website. We can see one here. I believe this is the first office listed. Yes, it is. Kemp House, City Road, London. I had a look into this. This is actually a virtual office. Quite why they need a virtual office, I have no idea, considering the number of offices they list. The next one here, Unit 11, West Quay, Whitstable Harbour. Again, this is a cafe in Whitstable, and I believe it's William's parents' cafe. They list 6, 7, 8 offices, I think, in here. It's ludicrous. I've spoken to multiple members of the team who've now left Invacio, and they say that they all work remotely and there is no office. So what can we conclude from this? Well, I guess they're just trying to make themselves look a lot bigger than they really are. They're trying to solicit investment, making out they're a big corporation. That's the only reason I can see why they've listed all these offices. It seems very strange to me indeed. I guess we should have a look at the products. Now, we briefly touched on Gene. Gene is the multi-agent AI system. Who or what is Gene? We can see here from the white paper, Gene is the name we have given to the full operational capacity of our multi-agent system, artificial intelligence. Basically, Gene is the backbone, and she is the nucleus of the majority of their products. The first product listed on the white paper is Tamias. Let me see if I can find that for you. Here it is, Tamias. So it's 70% complete. Projected rollout Q1 to Q3 2018. Now, this was the first version of the white paper, and I believe this has been updated in the second version to Q2 or Q3 2018. Tamias is basically a well, we can see it here. Tamias is Invacio's decentralized blockchain banking system. From what I've seen, how they are able to advertise it as a decentralized blockchain banking system, I am really not so sure. You can have a look for yourself, but I'm not going to go over all of this right now. All I want to highlight is that it's 70% complete, as we can see here, and it's basically some sort of crypto banking solution mixed with fiat. So this white paper that was published at the start of this year stated that this, as I say, this banking solution was 70% complete. I can say with a high degree of certainty that this is not true. Why do I know this? Because I've personally spoken to both Daniel Brace, who was the operations director at the time, and John Marshall, who was the chief of strategy at the time. Both of these gentlemen wrote the white paper, and they've stated that it was an idea that was thrown into the white paper at the last minute. Neither of them had even heard of Tamias before. Christoph Huber went on further. He said, by the way, Christoph Huber was very close to William throughout the ICO. He initially was an investor turned, apparently he basically ran the show. Anyway, so Christoph Huber explained to me that apart from a crypto wallet that's only available on Android phones, not a single thing has been done with Tamias. In other words, it's no more than an idea in William's head. How can you claim an idea to be 70% complete? To me, this is purely false advertising. they've done this in order to solicit investment from unsuspecting investors. It's a complete lie. It's a complete lie. That's Tamias. I'd like to have a look at some other products now. I'd like to look at, I believe it's called Agnes. Here it is, Agnes. Now, Agnes is essentially Invacio's trading signal service. As you can see here, that at the time when this white paper was released, they stated that it was 100% complete. Projected rollout Q1, Q2. Again, I don't have the updated version of the white paper, but I believe that its launch has been postponed to Q2, Q3. So anytime now, basically. I actually spoke with Andres Pedreza, who left Invacio back in December. And he claimed that he was responsible for testing Agnes, the trading signal service. He told me that it was nothing more than a basic trading bot. He said that it was basically next to useless, and Invacio fudged the results. With this in mind, I can only conclude that the 80% forecasting accuracy that Invacio claim Agnes is achieving is just another example of false advertising. Again, we won't know whether this statement is true until we see the actual product, when and if it's ever released. Look, I'll wait with keen interest to see the performance statistics. But from the evidence that I have gathered from behind the scenes, I'm not hopeful. And I hope for Invacio's sake they haven't lied again. Let's have a look. So that's Agnes. Aquila. Aquila, again, 100% complete. Essentially, Aquila is Invacio's hedge fund. The summary here says, Aquila is a hedge fund governed by human equity management, employing the full power of Invacio's multi-agent AI system, the data, and the fintech divisions. Look, it's a complex and time-consuming process setting up a hedge fund. This includes getting approval from various bodies. Not only this, but you must demonstrate adequate financial resources, appropriate staff, systems, and controls before you can even think about managing a fund. We can see here that Invacio, from the white paper, say that this is 100% complete. I can only say that this can be a lie. I have no idea how they could possibly arrive at this conclusion. Bearing in mind that the only guy who had any knowledge of financial markets or trading that's listed in the white paper had left. So they didn't even have any traders, and yet they claim they've got a fully operational hedge fund. Again, I'm sorry, but I can only surmise that this is another example of false advertising to solicit investment. What else? I think at the back of this white paper here, they mention about another product called WeNet. I think this is it, explaining it here. However, I've recently learned from that video with Keith Waring and Roger Baker that WeNet now is not part of Invacio at all. So, and it's privately owned by William West. So why it would be in this white paper, I have no idea. In fact, even in this video here, in which we have just seen, William mentions WeNet as well, making out that it's part of the Invacio offerings, but now all of a sudden it's not. Very strange indeed. So that's the products. What else can I show you? One very interesting piece was a video that was released by William whereby he explained that the hard cap on the ICO had been slashed by over 2/3 from 100 million on the back of a massive investment from an outside party. I think the reality is that the ICO was going very badly, and Invacio were looking for an excuse as to why they could slash the hard cap in order to make it a more attractive offering. Just watch this video here from one of their administrators, their admins in the Telegram group. He explains why Invacio are slashing the hard cap. Here it is.
And of tokens. I believe that 420 million were going to be created, but at the end of the ICO, all the leftover were going to be burnt, and if we hit hard cap, then we'd actually have around 150 to 180 million tokens in supply, which for me, I thought was still quite small considering the scale of the company. But believe it or not, guys, with the news that William has just released, in summary, they have enough money already. They could end the ICO today if they wanted to. So instead of ending the ICO early, what they've decided to do is reduce the hard cap and reduce the total token supply, which, as I said earlier, is very exciting for the people who already hold the tokens, but also the ones that want to buy the tokens right now.
Okay, so there we can clearly see that Invacio have claimed that they've received a massive investment and they've been able to slash the hard cap because basically they've got the money. I take issue with this. I take issue because up into the very last weeks of the ICO, Invacio were offering 50% bonus. 50% bonus. Why would they be doing this when they've already got the money? I ask you, does this not... I smell a rat here. Anyway, from that Keith Waring video, Roger Baker now comes out and says that Invacio haven't, in fact, received a single penny, and that the investment was, in fact, for WeNet, which was privately owned by William. Now, this is all very strange because during the ICO, it's quite clear that Invacio were advertising WeNet as part of their offerings. Now, we learn that WeNet isn't part of their offerings at all, and that Invacio haven't received any investment, and in fact, the investment was privately into WeNet, which is privately owned by William. These guys need to get their lies in a row. This is just completely ridiculous. I don't know what more I can say about this, other than it's just another example of Invacio falsely advertising in order to solicit investment. People would have invested on the back of this news, thinking that a big corporation has pumped hundreds of millions of dollars into this company, and now we found out it's a complete lie. Not cool, Invacio. Not cool. So, what other misleading advertising and lies have Invacio told? Well, we've already seen, in fact, I'll get this article up here. We've seen here number 4, listing people in the white paper and on other social platforms as team members when in fact they were no longer working for Invacio. We've already seen how this is the case. Number 3 here, claiming they're in advanced discussions with the following governments: Thailand, Pakistan, Ukraine, Estonia, an African state, and the United Nations. Yeah, that is a lot of advanced discussions. No ex-team members have any knowledge of how Invacio could possibly be making these claims. A complete lack of evidence and logic would tend to back up the views of all the ex-team members. I fully agree with that. We've already seen here this lie. The white paper clearly implies that WeNet is part of the Invacio offerings. We've since learned that this is not part of Invacio and is owned privately by William. I think I've already highlighted this one as well. The white paper indicates that Scott Suter is a core team member. It was also stated on ICO Bench and in ICO Marks. Scott has since clarified that he was an advisor to Invacio and not a core team member. Again, this is a serious falsehood. I like this one. In a recent interview with Keith Waring, confronted Roger Baker. In a recent interview, Keith Waring confronted Roger Baker about the lies Invacio have told. Roger responded, "There are no lies." Whoops, Roger. Looks like you've just told another one there. What else can I show you? Here, there's another article here. 11 times and counting, Invacio was caught lying. So this is another 11 times they've caught lying. They talk about the Scott Suiter one, the Scott Suiter lie. This is a lie about some, whether it's a lie or I'm not sure, but this is some misinformation about a fire. What else have we got? Oh yeah, this is a good one. Using Coinage News to shill their own project. Let's hear what it says here. During the pre-sale stage of the ICO, a website called Coinage News posted a few articles about Invacio. One of them, an interview with the founder William West, and another one, Invacio, possibly the best ICO of 2018. Yeah, nothing wrong with that, except the website was set up by Invacio themselves under the name of the team member's wife. And it looks like there's a video here of proving this. And then we have here Roger Baker shilling it again. He says Roger Baker used an article from their own website to post on Facebook groups and forums, pretending he'd found an interesting ICO. And then when William was called out about it, he had to step in to respond. He said that he could 100% confirm that neither Invacio nor any of its derivatives or team members would own the site. While technically correct, it was the wife of one of the team members. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so you can find this online, but there's more lies and the proof here. The proof here about the lies. There's more articles. This one here is Invacio scam. It's quite a good read. But there's some good points here that I'd like to highlight. Some promises that Invacio have made. During the ICO, it was claimed that Invacio would be listed on OKX and Yobit. This never happened. Invacio doesn't want to get on OKX. They say Invacio doesn't want to get listed anymore, as they claim Invacio will become a privacy coin and could later be removed. Okay, it just seems like Invacio have an excuse for everything. They've been giving here we can see the reasons they've been given by Invacio for this price drop. They talk about some divorce sell-off. Wow, I mean, there's so much information here. I suggest you read these articles. I don't want to go. These are publicly available. You can go over them yourself. I don't really know what to say. I mean, it's just red flag after red flag, lie after lie. Are these guys scammers? It appears that way. They don't seem to be able to refute any of these claims. To me, it looks like a pure money grab. They've quite obviously falsely advertised to solicit investment. They've got a load of money now, I guess. Maybe they'll pull something out of the bag. I understand they're building some sort of supercomputer made out of PS3s. But let's face it. It's very different from the way they advertised, that's for sure. And understandably, the price has tanked. Investors are very upset. And I guess we will see what happens from here. I personally don't hold much hope for this project. I hope for those that are still involved that William gets his act together and does something with the money. We shall see. Anyway, thanks for watching, and look forward to having you next time. Bye bye.